Today we're going to talk about helping verbs. Helping verbs, also called auxiliary verbs, act in a supporting role to the main verbs in a sentence. They give us more information about the main verb, like the tense. The first helping verb most people learn in English is do. We use do to form questions and negatives. You walk to work. Do you walk to work? You do not walk to work. Or more commonly, you don't walk to work. Another group of helping verbs are called modals. These verbs are used to talk about ability or possibility or necessity. So you walk to work. You can walk to work. You are able to. It's physically possible to walk to work. You could walk to work. It's a possibility. You could walk, or you could drive, or you could take the subway. You should walk to work. You must walk to work. Should and must are the two that we're going to look at today. You should walk to work. It's used to give advice, to say whether something is a good or bad idea. So, you should walk to work. Good idea. You need exercise. You shouldn't walk to work. Bad idea. It's raining. So if a friend of yours says, I want to lose weight, you could offer advice using should. You should exercise more. You should eat more vegetables. You should see a nutritionist. And if your friend says, my purse was stolen again, you should report it to the police. You should be more careful. You should call your bank. Must refers to necessity. It's very forceful, like giving an order. And it's actually not used that much in spoken English. The use of must that is common is when we say must be, to guess or assume. So people say, you didn't eat lunch, you must be hungry. Meaning, I'm assuming you are hungry. I'm guessing you're hungry. He must be so tired after his flight. I assume he is tired. The use of must for necessity is not that common, as I said. It's very formal. And in spoken English, we tend to use have to. Now with have to, notice that the verb have, which has a V sound when we use it in a sentence like, I have two daughters. When we say have to, it's pronounced more like an F. You have to walk to work. You have to walk to work. Your car isn't working, so you have to walk to work. You don't have to walk to work. Hey, you can take the bus. So if your child says, I don't want to get up, you can say, you have to, you're late. You have to go to work today. You don't have to get up. It's Sunday. Notice that making a negative with have to, we do have to use don't. With the other modals, when we make them negative, we don't need do. You should eat healthy food. You shouldn't eat junk food. And when you make it a question, same thing. Should you take the subway today? You don't need do. He mustn't be late for court. Must he arrive by 9 a.m.? That's very formal language. You probably wouldn't say that. What you would say, I have to go to work today. I don't have to go to work today. Do you have to go to work today? You have to use the do. Don't have to, do have to. One thing about modals that's also different is you don't have a different form for the third person singular. So it's I should eat more vegetables. He should eat more vegetables. It's exactly the same verb. We must obey the law. She must obey the law. But when you use have to, that verb have does conjugate the usual way. So it's you have to buy some groceries. He has to buy some groceries. So let's do some practice. You look tired. You go to bed early. You're giving advice, so it would probably be should. You look tired. You should go to bed early. On the other hand, if it's your mother speaking, she might say, you have to go to bed early. She'll make it a requirement rather than advice. He has COVID, so he worked from home. This is a requirement, so it would be has to. He has COVID, so he has to work from home. You wear that color more often. You're giving a compliment, and it's also advice. So should. You should wear that color more often. We check out of our room by noon. This is a requirement. It's the hotel rules. So we have to check out of our room by noon. Children go to school. Again, it's a requirement. It's a law. Children have to go to school. To review, we've been talking about modal verbs, a kind of helping verb that indicates possibility or ability or necessity. Should is often used to indicate whether something is a good idea, while must indicates a requirement. And especially in spoken English, we almost always use have to rather than must for necessity.